Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Heather, can you hear me? Heather?
She's about to get her phone out and call you.
I'll just.
Hey, Charlie, can you hear me? That's a no.
And they should just get the things through the.
Try it now.
Hey, Heather and Charlie, can you hear me?
Yes, it's a little loud, but we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Heather, can you hear me? Charlie, can you hear me? Nope.
If I unmute it, it's going to start doing that feedback thing where it just keeps looping. Well, that one doesn't need to be muted. No, the feedback's back there where I turned it on. I turned the audio on. Crester on. How did you mute it? I don't see any mute here. No, that's that one back there where I raised my hand. This one should. Well, then this is. So this one's on. I don't know why it's not going through.
Heather, can you hear me, Heather? Heather, can you hear me?
I heard you say, can I hear me? Can you hear me, not anything else?
How about now, Heather? Can you hear me, Heather? How about now, Heather?
Yep, I can hear you.
Do you want to go with it over, repeating over and over again? Because if I turn it off, she can't hear you.
I just heard Andy.
That's because I've got that thing where it's looping.
So does this apply to everybody? Okay.
Echo.
If I go back and mute it again, can you just get her to talk with your hands and see if you can hear her? Because sorry.
Heather, can you hear us?
You want to have her talk right now?
Yeah, can you get her to go?
I'll text her. I'll text her.
Looks like she's muted. Her microphone's muted.
Okay, I am talking on the phone and I unmuted in the Zoom.
Yeah, backwards, yes.
Okay, so I am talking in the Zoom. Can you hear me? And you guys are really blurry, so I can't really see if you're making thumbs up or anything like that. Nope, you cannot hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. There's a really bad echo.
I can hear you, Heather.
Charlie said he can hear me,
Yeah, there's a bad echo though.
but so is it possible to start the meeting or not?
Ever talk again? Thank you.
And Charlie, can you hear them in the room?
Occasionally, but there's a ton of reverb. I can just hear it, sort of repeat on itself.
And only when they are turning on their microphones?
I guess so. I can't hear them at all right this minute.
Yeah, I can't either. Well, they have quorum, so maybe they'll kick us off. I don't know.
I literally just walked off a plane in Savannah, and I'm pretty sure I left my wallet on the plane, so I'm trying to retrieve that.
Oh no. Pain.
I know. We've been stuck all day. I was on the tarmac in O'Hare for ever, and then there's a tropical storm here in Savannah, Georgia, so.
Sorry, I had my ringer off. I just noticed you called again.
Recording in progress.
Call to order the meeting, the Verona Common Council for Monday, June 28th at 7:11 PM. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, next we'll begin with the roll.
Alder Cronin. Alder Hosch.
Present.
Alder Kemp.
Here.
Alder Cole.
Here.
Alder Posey.
Here.
And Alder Riki is on Zoom. And also Alder Ryan is on Zoom, and Alder Touche.
It's not on Zoom, I'm here.
All right, next we'll move on. Next, I'll turn my microphone on, and then we'll move on to public comments. Mr. Sayre, do we have any virtual public comments?
No, we do not.
All right, that's probably for the best since we're still working out the sound system. Next, we'll move on to 4B, which is in-person public comments. Any members of the public wish to speak? All right. We will move on to item 5, which is approval of the minutes from the June 14th, 2021 Common Council meeting. Motion to approve or corrections would be in order.
Move approval.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alder Kemp. Last chance for corrections. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of approving the minutes for the June 14th, 2021 Common Council meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Alder Riki, can you hear us? If you could give a thumbs up if you approve? No, she can't hear.
She can't hear.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well, we'll just try to make it work. With that, we will move on to mayor's business. Before we get to committee appointments, I just wanted to say how much I appreciate staff trying to work through the hybrid meeting issues. If you want to be cutting edge, it's possible you will cut yourself on the knife. And I appreciate all the work to make this more accessible. And it might take a couple meetings to work out. So I'm here for it, and I hope we end up in a good place. With that, we'll move on to what I have in the agenda, which is the committee appointments. I'm going to scroll down to them. Scroll down to them very slowly. All right, I'm going to do this from memory since I can't find the spot in the agenda. There were, in your committee packet, there are 2 appointments to the library board. One of them is Ricky Conwell, which is a reappointment, and the other one is Samara. The previous library board member, Veronica, said she was too busy, and we appreciate her service, but also understand being really busy. So she, asked if anyone else would want to step up, and Samara did. She is a involved community member who has previously been involved in her kids' PTO pre-Verona, but I think she will do a great job, and I look forward to having her on the library board. In addition, I am also appointing myself to the Sustainability Task Force. I've pretty much attended every meeting, and plus Alder Cole will be leaving the council, so that'll kind of let me replace that. So, unless there are any questions, a motion to approve the appointments would be in order.
Move to approve the appointments as listed by the mayor.
Motion by Alder Posey, is there a second? This is seconded by Alder Cronin. Any discussion on this? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of approving the appointments as in the packet, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, no? And that motion passes. With that, we will move on to item 7, announcements. Are there any announcements from the council? Alder Cole.
Just wanted to take this time to say goodbye and thank you. This is one of the hardest decisions I've had to make leaving council, but I just wanted to say that I've thoroughly enjoyed my time on council and on the committees I've been on. I'd like to thank my friends and my neighbors in District 2 who trusted me with their votes. And thank you to those who call and email and send letters voicing their opinions, because your voice is, it matters, and I'm grateful to those who want to stay informed and get involved. Thank you to everyone, all the staff, everybody who works for the city of Verona. It takes so much to make this city run, and everybody works so hard to make Verona a wonderful place to live. And I wanted to say thank you, especially to Adam Sayre, our city administrator. He works long hours and very tirelessly to keep this city running, and so much of what he does goes unnoticed, and I just wanted to say thank you and let you know how valuable you are. And thank you to Mayor Diaz and all of my co-alders. It's really been a privilege and an honor to serve this city with you all. Thank you all for your continued service. And lastly, I wanted to say thanks to my family, and they've put up with campaigns and long nights and missed events and being late for events because of meetings. But most of all, they've been my biggest cheerleaders and supporters. And it's been a privilege to show my daughters that, as Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, women belong in all places where decisions are being made. And I truly believe that. And again, I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I will miss you all.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for your service. I had stuff I was going to say, but honestly, I think your speech was probably better than anything I could have said. So I'm just going to leave it at that and say thank you. Any other announcements from the council? Seeing no hands, we will move on to the administrator's report. Mr. Sayre.
Thank you. A few updates tonight. We have a Plan Commission meeting on Tuesday, July 6th. As part of that, we have 2 public hearings. We have a rezoning and conditional use permit for a daycare to be located at 240 Enterprise Drive. And then secondly, we have a precise implementation plan for the redevelopment of the former New Century Sugar Creek School site. So both of those will have public hearings at the Plan Commission meeting. Kind of regarding a few updates here. City Hall, we are in the process of kind of completing a relighting, relamping process here, converting the lights at City Hall to LED lights. To date, we have 80% of the bulbs have been replaced, and we anticipate completing this project sometime in 2021. We're doing that with in-house staff, so it's time dependent on our maintenance person actually physically going around and swapping each bulb. So it'll get wrapped up here at some point in 21. Budget update. The 2022 budget is underway. The process is department heads have submitted their capital budget requests, and operating budgets will be going out to department heads the first or second week of July. This will be another tight budget for us, and we'll continue to work with the finance committee on the budget itself. And then finally, the American Rescue Plan, the stimulus funds from the federal government, those were delivered to the city or provided to the city on Friday. We talked about that tonight at Finance, and we'll be having continued conversations with Finance on July 12th regarding the use of those funds. Lastly, obviously, Holly Licht started today as city clerk. We're excited to have Holly here. Holly was the deputy clerk about 3 years ago and left us for Stoughton, and she did a wonderful job in Stoughton, but we're very excited to have Holly back here, and looking forward to many years of working with Holly. So thank you, Holly, for coming back to the city. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions from the council.
Any questions for Mr. Sayre? Seeing no questions, we move on to the engineer's report. Ms. Fisher.
Thank you. For the East Side Interceptor, Ice Age. Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry about that. Got to get used to the setup again. Ice Age Trail is still detoured to South Main Street to Military Ridge State Trail. The Lincoln Street Bridge and path between the Lincoln Street cul-de-sac and Hillcrest Drive is open in a temporary condition. Short closures will be needed again in the next couple of weeks for the local sewer connection north of Badger Mill Creek and in approximately a month for path paving. Crews completed installation of the interceptor gravity sewer and force main. Connections have been made to the existing east side interceptor at the east project limits and the Arbor Vitae Place sewer. Local connections to the new east side interceptor will continue to occur over the next couple of weeks, beginning at the east side of the project and working west. Restoration crews completed seed restoration from Bruce Street to the Badger Mill Creek Double Creek crossing area and Melody Circle restoration. The remainder of the seed restoration will occur after the Dane County and City of Verona stream bank improvements as well as path paving are completed. Arbor Vitae Place cul-de-sac street restoration and yard restoration is planned for the beginning or middle of July. Both Dane County stream bank improvements and City of Verona's stream bank improvements are planned to begin in mid-July. The City of Verona's project is still pending DNR permit approval, which is anticipated late this month or in early July. The 5th Neighborhood Progress Meeting was held on June 16th, and the next Neighborhood Progress Meeting will be held July 21st. For the Lincoln Street Stormwater Facility, as of June 18th, excavation is over 90% complete. The contractor started building the East Clay berm last week. And if you haven't seen that project, I would suggest stopping by. It's a massive project. It's pretty impressive. For the North Main Street water main replacement project, staff has been talking with the contractor. The contractor has stated that they will begin as soon as the ductile iron water main pipe is delivered. They were anticipating that at the end of this month, and now they are being told that the pipe may not be delivered until the end of July. There has been an industry-wide supply shortage. Work is contractually completed, supposed to contractually be completed by mid-August. The contractor and staff are exploring other materials that are more readily available to get the work completed. For the pavement surface treatment project, the contractor performed the granite chip seal last week. City staff will then begin sweeping excess material, which will need to be done multiple times and should be expected to take a few weeks. The schedule for the polymer deck overlays has yet to be determined. For the concrete street rehabilitation project, the contractor began and finished the first stage of the project on June 18th. The second phase is anticipated to be completed by July 9th. West Verona Avenue will remain open, but will be restricted to one lane of travel in each direction through the project limits. For the Harmony Hills Basin cleanout, the walking path was paved on June 14th. There's a bit of restoration along the new pavement that will be handled by the contractor when they are back in town working on the North Main Street water main project. And for the development projects, Sugar Creek Commons Public Improvements, the contractor has begun work on the median, and just after the 4th of July weekend, it is anticipated that travel in both directions on West Verona Avenue will utilize the existing westbound lanes to perform eastbound lane work. This stage will also include closing Legion Street from West Verona Avenue to Top Avenue. West Verona Avenue will remain open, but will be restricted to one lane of travel in each direction through the project limits. For Kettle Creek North Phase 4, a pre-construction meeting regarding underground utility work was held on June 24th. For Woods at Cathedral Point Phase 2, the developer has started clearing the site and mass grading began last week. And finally, for Woods at Cathedral Point Phase 3, the Phase 3 plans were submitted for review on June 15th, and a kickoff review meeting for this phase was held with the developer's engineer on June 18th. And with that, I can take any questions.
Any questions on the engineer's report? I have one. Is the Sugar Creek Commons going to get their public improvements done in time, based on the contract they have with the city for a developments project?
So what they've told us is they believe they're aware of the deadline that's as part of that TIF agreement, and they believe they can complete that within that timeline.
I won't ask your opinion on whether you believe them or not, but thank you. Any questions, other questions on the engineer's report? Seeing no further questions, we will move on to item 10, committee reports. First up, we have 10A, Finance Committee. Alder Kemp.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I'd like to make a motion for the payment of the bills in the amount of $999,422.36.
Motion by Alder Kemp. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alder Posey, I think. Alder Kemp.
Just for the sake of discussion, we had a payment of $37,645.84 to AECom for various engineering projects. We had a payment of $198,367 to the City of Madison for our second quarter payment for the Metro Transit. A payment of $318,640 to the Fitzroy EMS for our second half of our operation cost. We had a payment of $153,068.75 to Payne and Doyle for asphalt rehab projects, and a payment of $60,000 to Sport Surface Pros for court resurfacing. That's actually the new pickleball courts at Harriet Park, so I'm going to have to take my son over there. He said he wants to try that out. That's it.
Thank you for the explanation. Questions or comments on the motion to pay the bills?
Yeah, give the Touches a call when you want to play.
Excellent.
Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of paying the bills in the amount specified signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Anything further from finance?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to 10B, public safety. Alder Cole.
Thank you. I am making a motion to approve a special event permit application from Phil Host for the Hop House Brewing Company 6th anniversary party from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday, July 17th, 2021.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alder Touche.
I interrupt. Sorry, I need to recuse myself from voting on this. Thank you.
Alder Cole.
Do we have a quorum then?
I believe absentees still count for quorum. Yeah, so
Okay.
we're good.
Okay. Phil Host has applied for a special event permit for an anniversary party on Saturday, July 17th, 2021 at the Hop House Brewing Company, 231 South Main Street. The business's parking lot will be used for seating, a food cart, and live music, with metal barricades marking the perimeter of the parking lot area. A temporary premise description amendment is required for serving beer and wine in this area.
You've heard the explanation. Questions or comments on the motion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of granting the special event permit application from Phil Hoax from the Hop House Brewing Company 6th anniversary party from noon to 10 p.m. on Saturday, July 17th, 2021, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And let the record show that Alder Hoax abstained from voting. Alder Cole.
Sorry. Next, I'm making a motion for a change of agent request from Quick Trip, Inc., doing business as Quick Trip number 837, 400 East Verona Avenue, Verona, 53593.
Motion by Alder Cole, second by Alder Touche. Alder Cole.
Quick Trip, Inc. has requested a change of agent for their combination Class A and Class A liquor license at Quick Trip number 837 from Tracy Alvey to Robert Oldenburg.
You've heard the explanation. Questions or comments on the motion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of granting the change of agent request from Quick Trip Inc. doing business as Quick Trip number 837 at 400 East Verona Avenue, Verona, Wisconsin 53593, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Anything further from public safety?
Nope, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Next, we will move on to item 11, new business. First up, we have 11A, which is a discussion and possible action regarding a release of agreement for land division improvements located in Liberty Business Park. Mr. Sayre.
Thank you. The developer of Liberty Business Park is in the process of selling Lot 12 of the park. As part of that sale, the developer has requested the city release Lot 12 from previous agreements relating to public improvements and the creation of tax increment. Staff has no concerns releasing the agreements for the sale, as the public improvements have been completed and the TIF district will close in the coming years, and the developer has met the obligations to create the tax increment.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments, or motions? Anyone want to take a crack at a motion?
I will.
Alder Cronin, thank you.
I will make a motion to approve releasing the agreement for land division improvements located in Liberty Business Park.
Motion by Alder Cronin. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Hoaxed. Motion before the body. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of approving the release of agreement for land division improvements located in Liberty Business Park signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Next, we'll move on to 11B, which is a discussion and possible action regarding a pre-annexation review agreement between the City of Verona and VH Acquisitions LLC. Mr. Sayer.
Thank you. In May of 2021, the city reviewed a concept plan for the Marty property located north of County Highway PD and west of Shady Oak Lane. The developer, who is Viridian, is requesting to move forward with developing the property, which include an urban service area amendment, annexation, and other municipal approvals. The draft agreement requires a deposit and reimbursement for city review costs. The city will draw upon the reimbursement account for the costs associated with the development, including third-party legal and engineering fees, and staff recommends approval of the agreement. This is the agreement we do for any type of development or project that is currently not in the city, but has numerous approvals that kind of go through. This doesn't guarantee anything's going to be approved. It just basically ensures the city has the ability to recoup our costs if for some reason the project doesn't happen. So the old deposit, I believe the agreement requires $20,000 with the city. We draw on that down to $10,000, and once it gets below $10,000, they replenish the account back up to $20,000. And we've done this now for 3 or 4 or 5 different developments.
You've heard the explanation. Questions, comments, or motions on the pre-annexation agreement? Alder Kemp?
I'll make a motion approving the pre-annexation review agreement between the City of Verona and VHS Acquisitions LLC.
Motion by Alder Kemp. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Posey. Motion before the body. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of approving the pre-annexation review agreement between the City of Verona and VH Acquisitions LLC signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
No.
And that motion passes 5-1 with, I believe, Alder Cronin voting no. Excellent. All right. We'll move on to 11C, which is a discussion and possible action regarding the consideration and appointment of the District 2 alderperson. Mr. Sayer.
Thank you. We had one candidate, Ry Kimmett, who has applied for the vacant District 2 alderperson vacancy. Under this agenda item, the candidate can address the council regarding their interest in the vacancy. Afterwards, the council has the ability to appoint Ry Kimmett to fill the remainder of the current District 2 alderperson term to be vacated by Katie Cole, which runs through April of 2022. So this is a similar process that we've used for other vacancies. Ry will have the opportunity to come up here, address the council. I think we've said before, 5 minutes, but I don't think it's up to Luke how long you want that time to be. Short presentation, though. The council can choose it tonight to possibly appoint the person, or you could delay that for the next meeting. If you choose to appoint, we'll have the swearing in at the July 12th meeting, and at that point, committee assignments would be handled as part of that as well. If you choose to delay it, it just pushes everything back a meeting. So.
And if you could introduce yourself, even though Mr. Sayer already introduced you.
There you go.
So I won't take up very much time. I'm Ry Kimmett. I think I've met most of you out and about. My family moved here 6 years ago. We fell in love. We plan on staying here forever. I opened Kismet Books last year, so if I've seen you, it's probably there. I also helped Charlie, Ryan, and Katie plan, actually I think, and Kate, planned the March for Racial Justice last year, so that's sort of what kickstarted this. So I love Verona. I have lived a lot of places. I was a military brat growing up, and I've never felt more at home than I have in a place than I do in Verona. I'd like to be considered for the open seat because I want to be a part of doing the work that makes Verona the place that it is. The community is just welcoming and friendly, and I know that's like a Midwest thing, but I feel like it's also a very special Verona thing. I love our schools. I have 2 kids who are going to grow up in the school district if I have anything to say about it. I actually ran for a school district seat last year because I just really want to be a part of the work. I know that this doesn't just happen. And I really appreciate Katie for all the work you've done. You're just a rad human being, and that's amazing. And if I can fill even a portion of that, that would be great. But I also mostly just wanted to keep it open if anybody had questions.
Any questions for the speaker? They're letting you off easy, so.
Otherwise, thank you for your time and consideration. I know it's not easy, so I'll just get on to it.
All right. We are still on the agenda of appointments, so questions, comments, or motions to either appoint or to delay to the next meeting. Alder Posey.
More of a comment than anything, and I know you've sat down, Rye, but a couple of times, I know over the last year, you've made comments, spoken during public comment period, and every time that you have shared, it's been very impactful. And I really appreciate your stepping up to be a part of that and speaking out. I know Katie had mentioned that just at the opening, how important that is to all of us to hear from the public, and what you shared, even through Zoom and everything else, it sat with me. So when I saw your name come across, it was an exciting thing to see that you're stepping up to be a part of what we do up here.
Absolutely, thank you. I'll share that with my husband because he's like, you have a new business, do you really need one more thing? And I'm like, there's always room for one more thing. Sleep is, it's fun. Sorry, I noticed I didn't.
Other questions, comments, or motions? Alder Cole.
Do I need to recuse myself, or can I?
It is dealer's choice on that one. So we did talk to Mr. Kleinmeyer, the city attorney, and he basically is like, it's your choice. So whatever you feel like.
Okay.
You are, I mean, you
Well,
are
I'm
district
technically-
resident, so.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would like to make a motion to appoint Rye Kimmett to District 2 alderperson.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Crone. Motion before the body. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of appointing Rye Kimmett as the District 2 alderperson signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. You'll be hearing from city staff to be filled in on the details. And with that, we will move on to item 12, which is adjournment. A motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second? Second by Alder Touche. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And we are adjourned at 7:37 p.m. Thank you.
Record.